Welcome back, Children of the Night, to another edition of the Infernal Archive. On this episode, we'll be watching the film Downrange from 2017. Andrew, if you could so kindly read from the Wikipedia scroll of deploritude.
All right. Stay, and here we go. Downrange is a 2017 survival horror film written and directed by Ryuhei Kitamura. It stars Kelly Conner, Stephanie Pearson, and Rod Hernandez. The plot concerns a group of friends on a road trip who all become the target of a distant sniper.
So, great premise for a film. I think we were talking about this earlier. There's one of the VHS movies. I can't remember if it's 88 or 94, but anyways, one of the VHS movies has a short film in it that is wonderful. Almost wonderful. And it basically concerns like a similar premise where it's like you just see these college kids go out onto a motorboat, onto a speedboat, onto a what's the word?
Speedboat onto a lake or a pontoon boat?
Well, it's just like a normal like a speedboat, like something you'd wakeboard behind, but I can't is motorboat the proper term? That seems weird. I don't know why.
I feel like that's ironically someone from like the 80s.
Yeah, I would say motorboat. Yeah, weird.
Maybe that's even older.
Okay, they're on a boat, and anyways, they're just like hanging out, having a good time, and then boom, 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 they just start getting sniped off, and it's super fucking chilling, and very well done. But then they fucking ruin the short because then it's like, oh, the water brings people back to life, and then the kids all come back to life, and then they do this stupid fucking zombie dumbass plot that they just ruin the whole short. But I am very intrigued to see. The thing is, like, I felt that worked so well because it was short form, because it's such a simple premise. So I'm excited to see if it...
See where they go with this one and how they stretch it?
For that long. A bit of a fun fact, this director just found out that he's actually done 2, like, dynamite fucking movies in his past. So he's done... it's not my favorite Godzilla movie, but it's in my top 5 for sure. Godzilla Final Wars in 2004. So in 2004, that was the 50-year anniversary of Godzilla, which first came out in 1954. So they did a movie called Final Wars, which featured every single Godzilla monster up until that point. And it is a dynamite watch. If you enjoy those Toho movies, do not miss it. It's fucking a blast. And he also directed one of the best, most underrated, gory horror movies of the last 20 years, which is Midnight Meat Train. Which
good. Yeah, such a good film.
I feel like it's so underrated. Just dynamite filmography, dynamite filmography. So excited to see if this holds up to those two. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're gonna go watch the movie, and then we'll give you our thoughts when we're back.
You're going to meet death now. The living dead.
Fuck right off. What a dog shit fucking piece of garbage waste of time movie.
You're such a dick!
Every day I wake up and I hope you're dead!
Children of the Night, do not see this film. What the fuck was it called again? Downrange from 2017. We just finished.
I want to know what drugs the people who reviewed this movie were on, so that I can... Maybe that's the secret. Whatever concoction of drugs they're on.
Makes it good?
Maybe that's the secret for when you watch a terrible fucking movie. You need to be on this group of illicit substances.
Narcotics?
Yeah. Because that's the only thing that makes sense.
So, with the Wikipedia blurb, we went over the fact, this film, the premise, the film is the premise. Like, it's just like, there's some kids, they're in a vehicle, I think there's like 5 of them, and they're driving, then boom, their tire explodes. You don't know why at first. They get out, they're gonna change the tire or whatever. Guy who changed the tire, boom, he gets his head, a hole gets shot straight through his head. And before I forget, I need to, because it was the first, it wasn't the first sign, but it was like the first big sign that this movie was gonna be the fucking dumpster fire that it was. They do this shot, and I've seen it done in other films, where it's like, what they wanted to do was this cool shot where the camera like goes through the bullet hole of the guy who got shot. But what they fucking did was like, camera starts here, here's the beginning of a hole, and it's like you can see the other side, right? So it's like there's a continuity of vision that you can see. So the camera's going and you're like, oh, it's starting to go in the hole, but clearly they didn't have like a probe lens or something that could actually go through the fucking hole. So then they just hard cut to the camera on kind of this side of the hole and coming away. It was just like, did you think that was seamless? Do you think we wouldn't see? It was fucking terrible. So anyways, that was like my first big thing.
And
So
then
anyways, one
and
guy
then-
gets shot.
And then the weird twisty camera thing, like shortly after
Later,
that,
yeah, it was weird
with
as
the
fuck.
drone, and like I could write a fucking novel, an essay on
How erratic the
how
filmmaking was.
terrible this movie was. We have to go over the tomato meter and the tomato score because it's fucked.
It is very upsetting.
70 something for a critical score, 72
And then
for
like
a critical
40
score, and a
40
42
for
43
audience score.
for
So the audience score is way more on the money. But this film would not get past a 20% for me or a 25%. It fails to me in almost every regard. As far as filmmaking go, like on like not even just on like performances and like a directing choice, like on a technical level. Some of this shit is so fucking bad. Like they didn't fuck up the white balance, I guess. That's good. Good for you. Wow, what an achievement. Let's go back to the erraticness of the filmmaking for just a second. So like the beginning of the film, pretty standard filmmaking. It's like we got some basic coverage, basic lighting, basic everything. It's fine. It's serviceable. It's doing its job. Then, like Andrew said, at this one point, the film has very little score. Like it's pretty like subdued, and you're kind of like, okay, maybe we got something here. Then all of a sudden, there's this moment when I think it's when the second person maybe the third person like gets shot or dies. All of a sudden, boom, the score comes in. Now it's Halo 3. Hell yeah. And then the camera fucking starts spinning in a 360 above the vehicle and shooting all the way fucking down.
It makes you fucking nauseous.
Terrible.
Just about.
It's just like, it would be like you didn't realize you were in a roller coaster upside down, and you were just like, oh, this is quite standard and easy. And then all of a sudden the roller coaster shot up, and now you're traveling at 60 miles an hour out of fucking nowhere, and not in a good, pleasant, like this is an interesting way, and it fully random. Why the fuck did this just kick up out of nowhere type way? So anyways, that happens. Then the film kind of goes back to being sort of standard or whatever, but bad because the performances are bad and the choices the characters are making bad, and nothing makes sense, and there's a fucking wolf for some reason. And
the random like 4-minute scene with the wolf,
fucking wolf.
It does nothing. It does nothing to anything. There's no reason to it. The whole, like, whoever made this film, whoever was involved in this film, you did bad, and you should feel bad.
It's like
because this is fucking awful.
It's like the most stream of conscious, or it's not the most stream of conscious movie I've ever seen, but it's like so much of it feels figured out on the day. We had a very thin plot here. How do we extend the runtime? Because we need to hit at least 90 minutes.
Also,
for this
what would
film
be also very much like, what's a cool thing we could do? Oh, have a car flip and a guy light on fire? Cool, let's do that. Does it make sense to the plot? No.
You could. I don't know where to start with complaining about this fucking movie. It has so many inconsistencies, and so much of it is so bad. You can break it into different parts. So there's like the beginning, which is like, I'm not gonna say you're totally out to lunch at the beginning. Like the performances are bad, and you're like, but okay, maybe the performances won't be a big part of the film because it's about a guy shooting people, so maybe that's not gonna be a big factor. But then then there's that first shot that I talked about with the hard cut, and you're like, that's just bad. That's bad filmmaking. I don't know who thought that was good to leave in this. No good. And then the next thing where it's like, we were trying to maybe come up with an excuse, but to me, I'm like, this doesn't make a fucking lick of sense to me. The first guy gets shot, and a hole is in his fucking head. A big hole. The bullet has lead. Yeah, there's like a fist-sized hole from one side of his head to the other side of his head. Second girl gets shot. Nothing. No hole in her head.
Her eye pops out.
Yeah, her eye pops out a little bit. And it's like, then we're trying to make excuses, like maybe she was just grazed, or maybe whatever. I don't fucking even know. But it's like, to me, that was also a sign of like, this bullet is behaving completely differently. And also, the bullet doesn't make a sound. And they explain in the film, they're like, oh, he used a silencer. That's not how fucking silencers work. I don't care if it's just like a thing for the suspension of disbelief. The movie's bad. So now I can shit on it for the stupid silencer thing. This, no sound. Dead quiet. To the point where they don't even know a guy got shot. The first guy is sitting there with a fucking
foot behind
hole.
them.
The thing is, even the sound of the bullet going through his fucking head and the splashing sound of the brain, like there would be something auditory, hearable from that thing.
Oh.
Nothing. And then they like, nobody hears anything. They're like, hey, because he's changed the tire and the wheel rolls away or whatever. And
Looks
then
like
they're like,
something,
hey,
bud."
you look like you lost your wheel. And look out, like, oh, that's silly. And then they walk around the car, and he's just standing there with a fucking hole in his head. And then he's on his knees or something, or he's sitting down.
He's sitting in a really weird position.
Yeah. And then it's like, I don't know why this is in this movie. At first I'm like, that's kind of fucked up, but now I just hate it. He's like twitching. Like he's like,
Yeah.
like he's got a baseball-sized fucking head through his hole through his head, and he's still somehow, whatever.
Also,
it doesn't matter.
Like other thing that like has to be called out because it's just like brutally bad. There are shots where bodies are in the shot. And then the neck, like, cut away, and then the next shot, the bodies aren't in the same frame, and they should be.
And it, yeah,
like continuity things that are just wrong.
Yeah.
Where it's like bodies and gore littered, and then cut away, cut back to like the fire.
Yeah.
And it's like now there's no bodies and the guy's on fire. Like
our producer noted at one point one of the bodies gets its fucking head ran over, and you see the head get ran over. Like the head explodes. Like it's no longer a head anymore.
And it doesn't exist.
It
Yeah,
is
it's
meat.
crushed.
Yes, it is sludge. It is slush. It is none. You wouldn't know it's a head.
Picture a fruit gusher that you. Yeah.
Gone. And then in like 10 minutes later, there's another vehicle that does like a whole flip, and it's fucking stupid. But then the body's there and the head's there, and it's what? You showed us what happened to the head. You can't have the head now in the shot.
And it went back and forth, like terrible continuity. When you're getting continuity consistently wrong, you were saying before we rolled, like the fact that this film exists, it makes me feel so bad for people who are like, in Braveheart, there's a guy wearing a wristwatch, and they wouldn't have wristwatches, and blah, 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 blah. Like, really? That's what we're going to complain about?
That's the thing.
When
it's
this
like,
movie exists?
It feels like there should be more self-flagellation in society. I'm just going to say it. We should all have a cat of nine tails that we carry with us. And when we make stupid, irrelevant fucking criticisms that don't fucking matter, whack, you get a hit. There's gotta be a physical punishment for doing these things. Because if this movie and Braveheart, or whatever, list any movie you've criticized that's like actually not that bad of a film, but these two films they're both films. Like they're feature films that you can watch on streaming services. That's fucked. That can't be a thing. We need to punish ourselves collectively as a society. I'm done with it. What a garbage movie. Fuck this movie. I haven't even brought up the masking mistakes with like fire. There's a scene when there's like a car in the background, it's on fire, and the masking is so half-half, and I'm very partial to this kind of thing because I do it a lot. And I'm one guy in a fucking basement, and I can do this shit. I can do it pretty good. There's a budget with this movie. There's an effects budget. They set a guy on fire. There's money that's in this film. You're getting paid something. The masking was so fucking egregiously bad. I don't know how anybody could see it. That's the thing. We watched it on a TV screen. This movie had to have been seen on at least once on a movie theater screen by the filmmakers and the cast. At least once.
It made $45,000 box office.
That's
international.
That's big money. That's big money, baby. And nobody said anything about the fucking masking area, which to me is such a.
I mean,
by that point, it's like
at that point when you have as much that's fundamentally wrong with this picture as that, I think I can forgive the masking.
Yeah.
Things are so fundamentally bad.
I'm particularly sensitive about such things. But, oh, yeah, we haven't even brought up, it's like there's this big, like I said, there's sections to this film. There's the intro, then there's this fucking weird scene when we do 360 camera work. And then they decide, they're like, oh, now we're going to introduce characters. They're not characters.
The police officers?
Well, no, and the family. It's like,
the other family.
We're going to introduce a whole nother car of people. They're in, they're out, 45 seconds, baby. And for some reason, it's like a 1 mile stretch of road, maybe. It takes like 10 to 15 minutes to traveling at about 100 kilometers an hour to go down from one side of this road to the other side. It takes minutes to
also,
go a mile.
I don't understand what it is in this movie. I can't imagine being in a situation where something happens where I'm driving and I am physically able to hit the brake, where my first response isn't to hit the brake. It's like
and you're not passed out. No, these people are still alive.
Like she hits her hand partially blown off, and her response is to accelerate and erratically on the steering wheel. Like it makes
just all the worst.
It makes no sense. There's no universe in which that makes sense.
It's actually a great microcosm of the decision making in this film as a whole. Nobody makes decisions that fucking make any sense. Like people just do things to do things, and it's not for the betterment of anybody or like trying to strategize. It's like early on in the film, because there's four of them that are kind of like hiding from the shooter because 2 of them get killed right away, and they're like, maybe we should all make a run for him and zigzag and then they're like, no, that's crazy.
We need to outweight him.
They're like, oh, we'd get shot, we'd get killed. One of the guys just walks and does nothing. He just walks. His girlfriend's dead, and like, no, the zigzagging, that's fucking stupid. That's an actual plan that could maybe end up in somebody surviving. No. The one guy is just like, you know what would be a better plan? I'm gonna go and give my girlfriend
cover her face up because she
give
got
her a
shot.
little whatever, not eulogy, a little service or whatever, for no fucking reason. That's a much better plan than the zigzagging and like actually trying to get something done. That's super good.
I'm gonna have to retroactively go back, and I stand by the Donald Sutherland movie, whatever the fuck it's called, that terrible one from last season.
Yeah, I always forget what it's called, but the one where it's you just watch a couple on vacation in Venice for the whole thing.
And there's like an egregious 4-minute titty sucking sex scene.
Yeah,
That's
and then
really
Donald
weird.
Sutherland gets stabbed by a little person at the end.
Yeah. So I could recommend that movie before this one,
Oh yeah,
because at least that one is kind of funny,
and it's got Donald Sutherland.
and it's got Donald
His
Sutherland.
performances.
Yeah.
And you could be like, hey, you're in for it when you see the sex scene. Like it's
Yeah.
pretty crazy, and it's
And
like
there'd be something to like
beautiful views of Venice.
Yeah.
Like if you want to know what it's like to be on vacation in Venice, that's a great film to watch. Like that's
True.
probably
Yeah.
what it's like.
Hey, you're thinking about traveling to Venice? I recommend you watch whatever this movie
like a
is.
travel film.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
This film has no merit
No.
artistically.
I feel like we need the fucking rant from Billy Madison in here.
Yeah.
Like at no point in your rambling of a sentence did you say anything of value, and like may God have mercy on your soul.
Yeah.
Because fuck this.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. God have mercy on your soul.
And like you said, it's like it's decently well regarded by, actually like quite well regarded by critics. Like critically, it's well regarded, and that doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Like we like to shit on different movies, like we've shit on Oppenheimer, we've shit on Longlegs or whatever.
Don't get us started on La La Land.
And La La Land, but it's like those three movies are fucking masterpieces compared to this piece of shit. Like excellent films compared to this film.
I would. Ooh, that's tough. I almost said I would rather watch Oppenheimer again than have to watch
It's a long movie.
this movie again. But it's
Yeah,
like,
at least this movie's short.
At
That's the
least
only
this
thing.
movie's short.
This movie feels long. It's kind of like when we saw Dunkirk and we were like, that is the longest. That is how we just came out of a 4-hour movie, but somehow we were only in a theater for an hour and a half. And
Yeah.
It was like very confusing in that regard. This film kind of felt like that. It felt like a 2.5-hour movie, but the actual runtime's only 90 minutes, which is like, how the fuck? Because it drags. It fucking drags.
yeah.
I have nothing good to say about it. I actually have nothing good to say about it. The plot is boring and bad. The action is ridiculous and cheesy and over the top and doesn't belong in this film. The performances are bad. It way overstays its welcome. I was saying before in VHS 88 or 85 or whatever the VHS movie that's in the 80s, it has a short film called No Wake, and I highly recommend watching that short film over this movie. It does this concept 10 million times better in 5 fucking minutes. So just do that. Somebody said this the other day. It might have been I can't remember. Somebody I was talking to, they were like, I'm so done with movies that where you could get this whole idea across and way more effective.
I said that after we went to see Heretic.
Yes, Heretic.
Yeah.
You're like, if you get this whole idea across in 10 minutes, why wouldn't you fucking do this? Like,
Why
because, like,
drag it for an hour and a half?
because then it's
what?
because the only answer is cynical, and it's because of the profit, because of the potential profit. It's like you're not trying to maximize the effectiveness of whatever art project you're doing. You are just we're extending the runtime of this because we know it'll make money in a longer format. Because look, whatever it will, because now we can stick it in theaters. And it's like that sucks. If that's the reason you're making a movie, is that type of cynical bullshit? Fuck that. Like, and this is what this movie feels like. It is a 5-minute, maybe a 5-minute concept stretched out into 90 minutes. Terrible, awful, and then nothing else is done to alleviate that that thing. No, it's not like they put good performers in here to like at least have somebody interesting to watch. It's not like they had like world-class effects to watch or like original action scenes or like anything. Like everything else about the film. And there's a fucking wolf. There's a fucking wolf.
It's like a several minute scene with this wolf where you're like, oh, is it gonna, they're gonna be this crazy, savage, gruesome scene where this wolf eats this guy who's been shot in the legs a bunch of times, and like, oh, that's gonna be fucked up and interesting. Nope. The wolf is just there, and they have this bonding moment where this guy like touches the wolf, and you're like, what is happening? And then that's when the other car comes. And then the gunshots scare away the wolf. And it's like, why did we focus on this wolf for like 5 minutes?
It's like the scene, if you've ever seen Hot Rod, he does this ridiculous thing when he's about to do a stunt where he'll say like totem spirit fox, and then he'll like see a fox in like whatever. It's really dumb. It's that.
Souls of the animal kingdom. Eagle, fox, bottlenose dolphin, octopus, house cat. Okay, let's jump this jump.
Literally, it's that. It's like the one guy's like totem spirit wolf, and then he like touches the wolf, and it's like, why did we do this nature scene? Why is this in here? It's the definition of bloat, and a scene that did not need to be in this fucking movie. There's a lot of scenes that probably didn't need to be in this fucking movie, but that scene.
It's wild to say that about an hour and a half movie. It's like there's so much, so bloated. This ridiculous hour and a half runtime.
You could easily cut this film down to
5 minutes.
Well, yeah, but I was gonna say, and still retain the basic plot.
Oh,
half an hour.
Half an hour.
Yeah,
half an hour.
Easily, you wouldn't. Fucking easily, you could cut this down to a half an hour, and like nothing would be confusing. Like all the characters would still die in the same way. All the like.
We don't even learn anything about what the sniper's motivation is. The whole thing is there's a sniper in a tree shooting these people on the highway because because he felt like it.
And it's like
also he in the stock of his gun, there's all those notches. It's like, is this highway just been the death highway forever?
Yeah, I love the idea.
What is the implication of this?
Like, there's hundreds of notches. Like, I love the idea that a man has been sniping people off on the highway, and the police
on a highway in California.
Well, it's like let's say he went to different places. Like, let's say it was whatever. No one. This hasn't been in the news anywhere. A man is shooting people driving on the highway. This is terrifying. This is a terrorist. Like, we can't. There needs to be news reports. It's like, no. If we let the people know, that he'll know we're onto him.
Oh,
it's
no,
like,
but this one stretch of highway.
Listen,
for a part of it, for one part of this one stretch of highway, there's no cell service.
Yes.
So that explains the whole
thing. It's like, listen, Chief. I think he's killed hundreds. I think we should put out a public warning. No. We this time we got him. This time, one more car full of kids, and then we got him.
And police officers. And all four of those police officers died.
Sorry, 3 more cars. One full of kids, with a young family, and one full of with 4 cops. He kills 4 cops in like 5 minutes.
2 sniper cops, like 2 special ops, like sniper cops.
There's a scene, I have to bring it up before we end this. There's a scene, so the cops are in like an SUV, and then or like a truck, and then there's two sniper cops like standing on the back of the truck with 2 sniper rifles, and there's a scene when like one of the snipers gets hit or whatever, and then the other one doesn't, so there's 1 sniper left, and then one of the cops dies in the cab, so there's 1 cab cop and 1 sniper cop left. And then the sniper cop and the cab cop just pulls up his fucking pistol, bah, 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 unloads a clip into the tree, and then the sniper cop is also like, bah, bah.
Just blindly firing.
Just unloads his clip into the fucking tree, doesn't hit anything, does nothing.
No, well, the sniper in the tree just goes and ducks down a little bit.
And then
then waits till they're done firing, and then pops up and immediately headshot, center mass. They're both dead. Like 2 quick, pop, done.
It's so fucking stupid.
And it's like, it's not even stupid. Like, you might hear this and be like, oh, it's going to be stupid.
Funny.
It's going to be stupid and fun and funny, like Leprechaun. No. I would rather watch all 4 Leprechaun movies, the main ones, back to back.
A full waste of your time. Okay, let's
hope.
spin the wheel for the next film. We got 2 left. We got The Void and Victor Crowley.
Let's hope they're both better.
Producer, could you give me a 1 so I don't have to look around? A 1 for Victor Crowley and a 2 for The Void, if that's what it lands on. Alrighty, let's spin the wheel. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Victor Crowley from 2017, I believe the film is. Yes, next time we'll be watching Victor Crowley from 2017. It's one I'm a little bit scared of because Victor Crowley is
like number 3 in a series of.
Yeah, it's part of the Hatchet franchise, and it's not the first Hatchet film, and it's not even the second Hatchet film. I think it might be the 3rd or the 4th Hatchet film.
So we're gonna be coming in cold.
Yeah,
but
so who knows though? Maybe if Victor Crowley's Dynamite, we'll be like, oh, we've been sleeping on these fucking Hatchet movies. We shouldn't have done that. So yeah, tune in next time when we watch. Give this film a fucking score out of 10.
-5.
I agree. I concur. What a dog shit movie. Join us on the next episode of the Infernal Archive when we watch Victor Crowley from 2017. Thank you so much for tuning in, Children of the Night. We'll catch you on the next one.